I'm raging. Has anyone else had this battle? Without going into too much detail to protect our identity, has anyone's child ever needed glasses and you find out your spouse doesn't believe in glasses? Like, I'm not joking. Says glasses are a crutch to the body and the doctor is just trying to make money. Like, can this actually be my reality? Am I actually fighting to get my child glasses? Holy hell, I want out of my life right now. I think the only thing that's worse about having this argument is being so far into a relationship, like you're married to someone, you've had a child with someone, and are now finding out that they are opposed to glasses. But honestly, glasses are like real important for preventing eye strain, headaches, so that kids can read stuff on the board. My eyes aren't particularly bad, but I still wear glasses while driving because I like to be able to see everything as crisp as possible. Glasses are great. Special thanks to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are once again returning to r/insaneparents, the subreddit dedicated to parents who probably shouldn't be parents. There's a lot of terrible parents out there, and we're just gonna look at a few of them. We'll just do that, shall we? Before we begin, I just quickly wanted to mention that I will be live over at Twitch in a couple of hours as of this video coming out. I would love to see some of you there. We have a great time, it's a good stream, so go check out my Twitch, go say hi, love to see you there. Other than that, let's take a look at the subreddit, shall we? I'm Gen X, and I have a huge problem with how I'm left carrying the weight for millennials. For example, I'm 42, and my daughter is 22. She decided a while ago she does not want any kids. She's actually getting a procedure for sterilization next year. But those souls needing to come into our family for ancestral or karmic reasons still need to be born. So I'm stuck birthing and raising two babies who should have been born to her but can't because she's too selfish to have kids. We joke how my 1.5-year-old girl, her sibling, is actually hers, but she just didn't want to have it. But deep down, it's not a joke. If she wasn't so selfish, I wouldn't have a toddler daughter right now. That's not her problem. It's not her responsibility to have a child. She doesn't have to have a child if she doesn't want to. Like, you can believe what you want in terms of ancestral and karmic reasons, but if she doesn't want to have a kid and she doesn't believe in those, it's not her responsibility. At the end of the day, if she doesn't believe in that, she doesn't have to. But also, if we're talking, souls needing to come into Earth, if we're talking spirituality, if there's God or whatever you believe, does it not make sense that those same spirits will still come into the world through other families? If there is a spirit waiting to come into the world, it's going to come into the world through a child being born, whether it's your family or not. They're not just going to be trapped, because that doesn't make sense. I had this conversation with my mom after she got angry at me, told me to get a new mother, called me selfish, and told me I was emotionally abusing her because I didn't have time to reset her Facebook password for the 20th time. Call me ASAP. I'm done taking your abuse. Our relationship is over until you are ready to be an adult and apologize for your actions. All you have done this past week is disrespect me over and over. Take some accountability and stop blaming people for your problems. Goodbye. F you. Lose my number. Very mature for a 40-year-old woman. Good job, mother. Have a nice life. F you, brat. True narcissism is when a 40-year-old person cannot take accountability for their own actions, huh? Like, really? I don't think I really have anything to add. That's it. It's just, she can't take accountability for her own actions. It's when parents are abusive and manipulative and then acts like the child is at fault for not wanting to be with them. When your kid doesn't respond to being spanked, if you know, you know. It works. There's layers to how bad this are. Like, if your child doesn't respond to physical abuse, we're going to use medieval torture techniques. That's what this Instagram post is. This is boasting about beating your child and then using medieval torture techniques on your child. What else do I need to say there, really? So I was breastfeeding my 7-year-old son, Ezra, and he stopped, looked at me to tell me his tight hurts right where his diaper rubs, and he has a big burn. I don't know where he got it from. I'll post a pic in the comments. What are some natural remedies I could do? We don't do doctors. Breastfeeding a 7-year-old is weird. I don't care. But him being in diapers, is he disabled or has anything that he needs a diaper? Sorry if this sounds rude to ask. It's fine, and he is perfectly healthy and has no problems. He's my baby. My oldest is 14. I chose to breastfeed him till he wants to stop. He loves to suck, and I chose not to potty train him because I love the baby stage and can't have more babies, so he is my baby. Once again, there's layers to this. This is weird. So first of all, breastfeeding a 7-year-old child is weird. He should be on a solid diet by now. But also she's infantilizing a 7-year-old, right? She is refusing to potty train a 7-year-old child because she wants to continue treating him like a baby. Like, the long-term effects of this are gonna be pretty rough. This kid is old enough to be in school. I don't know if he's going to school or if he's homeschooled, but if she's sending him to school in diapers because he's not potty trained, children are ruthless, right? Anybody that finds out about that, this kid's gonna die. Like, the social aspect of this kid is gonna be bullied to absolute death. But on top of that, like, this child is almost at double digits. What happens when this child reaches a teenager and she hasn't taught him basic human functions like going to the toilet on his own? Like, she's going to be actually stunting the mental growth of this child by not teaching him how to be a human being because she wants to keep treating him like a baby. And that's kind of messed up, really. Not even kind of messed up. That's just messed up. Grandma found out I've left the country and out of her control for good. Cue this email. You need to come back home. It is your grandmother. I know you have told us that you would rather betray your family than be a part of it, but I felt that you should know that your mother is struggling with not seeing you, and I feel it is time for you to step up and start taking care of her. I am getting too old, and at some point, you need to become responsible and do right by your mum for the first time in your life. We also recently learned that you're in Norway now, which is amusing to say the least. We all have thought about it here, and we don't think it's the right move. All the family you need is here, and I don't see a reason for you to move across the world for a man who is not even God-fearing. Ah yes, because as we all know, religion is the only important aspect in family. It's a disgrace, and I feel deep down you know it's true as well. Your mother raised you better than to go off to be some house hoochie with a disease-ridden European. You should be getting checked regularly. Whenever Miss Carolyn, if you remember her, asks about you, I have to lie and tell her you are doing fine and taking care of things that should be taken care of, like your mother and your education. What will you even do there, I wonder? Norway isn't a great country to begin with all the socialism. It's coming out now. Not great place to have a life in compared to America. Will you have any grandkids for me? I hope you will at least get married first. Your mother told me that you have an SFW statement. Is that all he keeps you around for? Some food for thought. It doesn't seem very healthy for you, and you need to come back home. I know that in the past we haven't been on the best terms, but you have to know that everything I've done has been for the best, for everyone, especially your mother. It is time for you to do the same and come home where people respect you, understand you, and love you. You will not get any of that in Norway with this fiance fellow. Be a good daughter, finally. Take care of her and come back. If you need assistance with the plane tickets or apartments or whatever, we can arrange something. You just have to be an open communicator. I know that's not your strong suit, so I will do my best to be patient with you. I look forward to seeing you soon, dear. All my love, Granny. Oh boy. Okay, right. So, first of all, her partner isn't Christian, so the granny had to make a point about that being an issue for her, but that doesn't matter. Christians can marry non-Christians. In fact, non-Christians can marry non-Christians. I don't know what religion the OP in this was, but she can marry whoever the hell she wants, and she can also live in whatever the hell country she wants. And as it stands, the grandma being like, Norway isn't a great place to live compared to America. Norway has considerably lower poverty rates. It has considerably lower rates of mental health issues. It has considerably higher average happiness. Like, as far as things go, if you look at all of the statistics about Norway, you look at the average wealth of the people in Norway, the average mental health, the living situations, it's a pretty great place to live. Like, it's such a weird statement to be like, Norway's not even a good place to live. Why why would you go there? But also, she then goes on to say like, oh, people at home love and respect you. Well, that's clearly false, evident by this entire email slamming her for sleeping with the person she's married to, marrying the person she's married to, living with the person she's married to, and also slamming her for not looking after her mother. But her mother is a fully grown adult. And also, generally, is it not the responsibility of a parent to facilitate the child and not the other way around? People are supposed to raise their children. The children aren't supposed to raise their parents. So all in all, I think the OP is probably doing a whole lot better in Norway than they were doing back home. My transphobic dad finally wanted to talk after 3 years. He reached out to my wife since I didn't respond immediately, and this is how their exchange went. Can you tell Red I would like to talk to him? Her name is Other Red. I can't just call them the color, they're using the same color. And you won't get very far with he, him pronouns or her dead name. I'm only saying this because I've watched her torture herself for nearly 3 years by your total disregard to her existence. I love her more than anything, and I, as well as Red, are very protective of her. So I'm going to stand behind what she wants 100%, and she already said she's willing to have a conversation. So tread carefully. I will not have her crying and hurt because of your side of the family again. It was sad enough that my family had to fill in your spots at our wedding, but thankfully for her and they all fully accept her. But I still come first. I am dad, so you can go back all that shit now, young lady. I will be me always. I will speak as I please to whoever, however I please, in the pronouns I choose. Then she'll refuse to talk to you. She was ready to do that the day she told you you weren't her father anymore. My dad had been a better father than you have ever been, and I'm 37 years old. You don't have the right to talk to me like I'm your child. I have a father who I respect. I don't need you or your bullshit, and neither does Red. Non-trans accepting parents are unfortunately shockingly common, but it's when the dad has the entitlement to be like, oh, I can refer to people however I want. I can talk to whoever, however I want. It's like, that doesn't slide in society. It doesn't matter if they're your kid, if they're your friend, if they're a stranger, if you're talking to someone in a way they don't like, they're not going to want to be friends with you. They're not going to want to spend time with you or be associated with you. If someone has told you specifically that they would like you to refer to them in a certain way and you refuse to do that, how can you be surprised when they don't want to talk to you? How can you be surprised that they're cutting you out when you were saying that you come first over their wishes? Like, is it surprising they don't want you to be their dad when you are saying that your views are more important than the views they hold and that you are allowed to talk to them in any way that is disrespectful that you want to because you're more important than them? You're not. You're really not. You have to respect people's wishes. If you want to spend time with family members, if you want to stay close to your family, and if you want to maintain healthy relationships, if someone comes out as trans, respect that, because otherwise don't be surprised when they don't want to be with you anymore. I don't abuse my kid after he abuses me. That's not how he learns. It's not abusive. It's not acceptable. Our parents' theory was the knowledge goes in where the blood comes out. It's not 1950 anymore. Also, this doesn't teach kids. They don't learn through this. You emotionally stunt them. You cause trauma and you cause a cycle where they mistreat their kids. Like, you don't teach a child by beating them. You know what beating a child does? It teaches them how to lie. It causes insecurities. If you beat a child for acting out, guess what you're teaching them? You're teaching them that they can beat people who act out against them. If you teach children that violence is an okay response to misbehavior, then they will use that in the same way to other people. And what do you think is going to happen when they're an adult? If you do the same, when they're an adult, if you misbehave, are they not allowed to hit you now? You're the one misbehaving. You taught them that hitting someone who misbehaves is acceptable. So what happens when they're an adult and you misbehave? It's parents like this that mistreat their children and then act surprised when their children cut them off, or act surprised when their children defend themselves. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think a child was going to go all the way through to adulthood and not defend themselves ever? No, self-preservation is stronger than that. And on post. Please post this anonymously. My son is currently 6 and he is so ungrateful. He talks back, tells me he doesn't believe in our religion, bullies kids at school, and hits his older siblings. I'm at a loss. I've grounded, popped his butt, sold all his Christmas toys, and taken all toys away and left him with a bed in his room. What else can I possibly do? I'm sick of it. He's gotten to the point he tells our pastor to STFU because God isn't real. Please help me. Sounds like your child is reflecting how trash of a person you are. Only person to blame when your kid goes no contact with you will be you. Sounds to me your child learned to bully from the biggest bully, you. Children reflect the treatments they receive, right? So if a child is being beaten at home, is it surprising that he hits other kids at school? That's what he's been taught. He's been taught that it's okay to do that, you know? Like all of the things you're doing, all of the ways you are treating are then reflected in that child. If you are unhappy with how your child is acting, it's because they're echoing the way you are treating them. If you don't treat your child with respect, if you beat your child, you take away all of their possessions, how can you possibly be surprised that they are unhappy? How could that ever be something that you are shocked by? I don't understand how people have that view. How can people be surprised that hitting their child will make them respond in the same way to other people? It's a learned behavior. How will you ever be surprised that, oh, I've removed everything that makes my child happy from their life? Oh, they're not happy anymore. How could this have happened? How are these people parents? How are these people parents? Like, As I write this post, I am literally in tears. I don't even want to post the picture, but I am beyond desperate for help and advice. My 3-year-old's teeth have decayed to the point they are almost completely gone. I took her to a holistic dentist who said he wouldn't even look at her and that she should have to go to a specialist to be put under to do x-rays. He also told me to stop nursing because that's what caused it. I took her to a regular dentist and they were able to take x-rays without her being put under, but they want to pull the top 4 front teeth and put silver on the rest of the top. I was also told not to pull teeth and definitely not to do silver. We were using remineralizing toothpaste and putty for a while, which was keeping it at bay. She is refusing to use it anymore, and from the picture you can see the progression. I just want to do what's best for her. Is there any other options besides having them pulled and metal put in? Thank you for your advice. So, I'm not going to show the picture that was showed in this because it's rough. Like, these teeth are not just like rotten. These teeth are like eroded, you know? Some of these teeth are almost gone. Like, this is, I think I've said I don't understand things a lot in this video, but parents that neglect medical professionals and then are surprised that things go wrong, but then refuse to go to medical professionals for an answer or for a solution, right? So she's refused to use proper toothpaste on this child. She's refused to go to an actual dentist. She's probably been aware of this tooth decay for long before it got to this state, but refused to do anything about it. And then she finally goes to an actual dentist and is refusing the treatment that they are doing to save this child's mouth. Some people, borderline too dumb to be parents. I don't even think there's anything malicious about her intent here. She's just so misinformed, so incredibly misinformed that it is harmful and neglectful to her child. She really needs to learn that just because something is holistic or natural doesn't mean that it's good. There's a reason we have actual dentists and actual doctors. There's a reason that actual toothpaste is sold to us and recommended by dentists instead of remineralizing toothpaste and putty. Listen to medical professionals who know what they are talking about. And the final post. Hey guys, I need advice. My son invited me to his wedding with a man. When I told him I don't want to go because I don't want to be subjected to the gay agenda, he called me homophobic. I just did not want to witness such things. Him getting married to his best friend, who is a man? I cannot. So you're surprised your son calls you homophobic for being homophobic? Like, oh, I'm not homophobic. I just don't like gay people. This man is stupid. This man's straight up dumb. He is homophobic, but like straight up just homophobic, and he can't possibly comprehend being called homophobic for his homophobic actions. Dumb. Just stupid. Honestly, the faster his son gets away from him, the better, quite frankly. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. Oh boy. If you want to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Special thank you to all of the YouTube members and patrons that do support my channel. All of your names are up on screen and you are all incredible, wonderful, wonderful people? Wonderful people. Thank you so much to everybody that supports me. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.